Hello friends, welcome to Cities Skylines. I'm Colonel Failure. Well, here we are again at the start of a brand new city on a brand new, no, not a brand new map. We're going to use the same map again. And that's quite simply because I'm going to keep playing this sucker until I've got it right. Anyway, the overall objective for this particular playthrough is to come up with actually a design that is excellent. There we go. Let's not beat about the bush. We're going to go for a properly impressive design. Now, as you can see, some of this land has been used already. Used, in fact, by me. I've kept the game pretty much as standard. I mean, I'm using my normal mods in here, but I haven't put on unlimited money, so I do still have to make a profit out of this. And that, I hope, will set me aside from some of the other design-oriented cities out there, because I like the challenge of trying to keep the balance budgeted? No, let's say the budget balanced. That's a far superior thing to say. So today, to start out, we're going to build a new island, and it's going to be from this bit here. So I've got the terrain modification tool. I can never remember what it's called. Terraforming tool. I've got the terraforming tool built in, and I'm going to separate off this bit of island here, and hopefully I'll do it in such a way that doesn't make too much of a mess like I've just done there. Look at that. Awesome way to start. Let's get that back down again. So I don't want to blow. I mean, I've built a starting city up already, and then deleted it again, much as I did last time around, just so that I've got some cash to get me going. I haven't done anything more exciting than that. So I played through, I don't know, a couple of years, just to get a bit of cash rolling in. And a few unlocks going. There. No, that's it. And then there-ish ought to go. That's the job. Right, so this first island that I'm building here, this kind of new piece of terraforming, and I've got the game paused purely so that the sun stays out so we can see what we're up to. But this first island here is going to be my water supply and water treatment. Now, I have to tread somewhat carefully early on to ensure that I don't get too carried away on doing this terraforming lark and things just like it, because I don't want to use all of the cash that I've earned for myself. I want to I want to make it last for a little while at least. So I like the idea of having a separate kind of set of utilities on an island. So that's what we're going to do. I've unlocked. How far did I get in my kind of starter build? I got as far as 23,000 population. So obviously I've got everything unlocked as far as there, and I have raided the workshop like there's no tomorrow for all manner of glorious assets that I'll be bringing to play. Now, as much as everybody's going to be driving on the left, there are actually quite a few American vehicles in here as well, and European vehicles too, because I've not gone for a particular national style. I've gone for stuff that I like, and that comes from all over the place. It's not purely from one country. That's looking all right. I'm going to need to build up the land here just a touch, just to stop it flooding. And actually, before I go much further, and as you can see, I've burned the best part of $500,000 on this already. Terraforming is not cheap. You do it at your own risk, but the effects afterwards can be kind of cool. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you somewhere. Where's it gone? Am I lost? Here we go. This area here. So this is actually, this is a standard area of the map, as you can see, and it's flooded despite there being trees present. And I think that's part of the map build itself. I've done nothing to upset it yet. Give me time though, I'll upset it in due course. So where are we? Where's there it is. Now I'll unpause in a second. That will obviously, you know, flood the entire beast, but for the moment we'll keep it straightforward as is. And let's get rid of all these trees that will shortly be underwater. Trees, of course, are a big deal, but they do have a tendency to continue growing underwater, even though that's not necessarily the most realistic thing in the world. Right, here we go. Actually, that's hogwash. I've seen plenty of trees that are growing when their roots are somewhat waterlogged, so who knows. Anyway, right, let's get this up so that it's straight, which may be easier said than done. There we go. So I'm going to put the bridge in straight away, and then hopefully, in fact, let's build that out, and then flatten it down. Flatten it to there, and then to here, and then do a slight adjustment by use of the good old trusty bulldozer, and then hopefully we can get this to sit flat. Flat enough. So in a moment I'm going to unpause, and this whole area will flood out quite nicely, creating a separate island, and we'll get rolling. But first hold on, steady on. First I want to get this recorded. That was not what I had intended to do. No such luck as far as an undo would work there. No, see, look, now you're just doing it to upset me. Now, there we go. Right. So I'm going to put a very dinky little roundabout in here. So the purpose of this island is, as I say, it's going to be water supply. I'm going to give it its own power. I'm also going to give it water treatment to deal with. Might as well put both treatment and supply in the same area where you can, and I've got a slight variation asset that should mean, all being well, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. Right, actually, I need this to be one way, otherwise mayhem will happen. There we go. So let's roundabout it up, and then one more road coming off here. So I think one of the characteristics of this particular playthrough is going to be just how slowly I progress. I don't anticipate unpausing for a while, so, you know, settle in, make yourself a cup of tea, and you know, enjoy what we've got going on. Right, let's find the best place for this, or shall I flood it? Let's flood it first. Okay, flood time. So I've got my road network in place, and I've tried this already. As you can probably tell, this is not the first time I have done this. But you know, we want to make sure that what we end up with doesn't, you know, it's not a complete wreck immediately. Could probably do with raising this bank a little bit, although I could probably do that with a good use of road. So I'm not going to be too worried about that right away. Equally, I'd quite like to, or do I want to round that hillside off? I quite like it as it is. So my goal, when I say, you know, I'm doing this as a design series, my goal is going to be to have something, to end up with something that looks fairly, if not entirely, realistic. As far as, you know, my level of competence can ever get towards, you know, semi-realism or otherwise. And again, there we go. Drag that down and then smooth it out. Now, one of the things that I found, you've just reversed what you've done, and it's cost you 60 grand to do so, you fool. yeah, one of the things I found is that if you use road as an edge blocker, then you can be far more casual with your use of the terrain tools, and you don't do anywhere near as much damage. Right. Anyway, so water pump. Let's start as we mean to go on. I'm going to drag a water pump in there, and I'm hoping very much that that this handy item here, this large, well, let's use the small clarifier. This clarifier here will deal with the majority of pollutants, recycling the water nicely, and making it so that I don't actually have to pollute anywhere. Right, let's try and sink this down so it's not quite so cliff-like. Or maybe we'll make it deliberately cliff-like like that. Now that I've done it, I actually quite like the look of that. There we go. Let's put just a bit of cement. As I mentioned, don't go mad with the terraforming tool. So this is going to deal with some of the wastewater, but it does generate a little bit of garbage. So I think until such a time as I want to, I mean, I don't want to put an incineration plant on this island, or do I? I mean, don't get me wrong, it would generate all the power I needed. But no, I don't want to put too much pollution right on the doorstep of where I'm drawing my water from. That would, in fact, let's put that here. Now, I'm putting that there just temporarily, so that, on the off chance that I unpause before I'm ready, we don't end up polluting this lot. Okay, right, let's water pipe up. And that's, I mean, this is, we're not going to put an awful lot more than that on this island. It has a purpose to serve, and that is the provision of water. And, obviously by not filling it out, it means that we can add more pumps over time. Now, I have got another couple of bits I want to add, however. One of the motifs we are going to find in this particular playthrough is plenty of security. So in this case, we shall have a little bit of CCTV action, if I can. Yes, there we go, let's rotate that round a little. A little bit of CCTV monitoring people on the way in, just so that, security is maintained. We're going to run a tight ship as far as keeping things secure are concerned, and I actually want, as much as we don't need it yet, I'm going to put another couple of buildings up. And that might not be 100% efficient. In fact, I can guarantee you it will not be 100% efficient, but it's going to add to the look and feel. How do we feel about that? I quite like the looks of that. So here we go. So we've got a couple of water towers in place next to our initial water pump, and then we're also going to add, for this is a good place for it, a nice big radio mast. Now, the radio mast in question, it serves multiple purposes. The first of which is it's a radio mast. It looks cool. The second is it actually spreads power around a little bit. And obviously, because people are occasionally going to use the radio mast, we'll stick some parking up for those who are going to work in this area. Now, this is a special parking bay that has solar panels on the roof. So, with people parking up in here, we'll also gain a little bit of power from that. In fact, if I call up the, I don't know if it will have propagated already. No, it hasn't counted it yet. There we go, and that's more or less it. So later on, we'll add a bit more in here, and we'll keep it moving along. But it will largely be in the nature of water supply. Hence the dirt tracks. We don't need anything more than service vehicles to come around here. Of course, garbage trucks being one of them, but when isn't garbage trucks one of them? So let's just tree up a little. We already have kind of a pine motif going on here. I'm not going to go too mad filling out these because all being well, we'll have a little bit more going on in here soon. I could use the brush, but I'm going to be just a little bit more selective with my tree placement. And then, just for the sake of a bit of variety here and there, and because it'll look nice. There we go. Handsome. Got some trees up. Anything else we want to add at this time? We certainly don't. This isn't intended to be a tourist area, so I think we're probably good. So there we go. It's a small start, friends. We're not going to get carried away. I mean, you should expect to see progress every time we play. But what I'm intending to do is to plan it out before we start, so that there's less umming and ahhing, and I certainly have no intention of spending my time chasing around traffic that isn't quite working. So there we go. Here's where we started. Here's where we finished up for today. Right, Water Island. In fact, I might even zone it. Should we pay homage to the likeable and charming Mr. Costner? I think we probably will. There we go. Go on, push it all the way to the corners. Myrtle Heights? No, I don't think Myrtle Heights is really my scene. I think this is Costner Island. And unlike Mr. Costner's Island, I don't intend this one to sink into the sea. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. We start small, we get bigger. That's how we're going to proceed with this playthrough. Leave us comments, make some suggestions. Do we want to build in the same kind of place as usual, or shall I explore other areas of the map? Hell, at some point I've got to be able to conquer the the build-up of these two chunks here, these two kind of archipelago. So thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you've not done so, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Cheerio.
This